It was another cool winter day in Michigan on the 11th of December, 1994, when then 25-year-old Dwanna Jackson informed her 4-year-old son he would be joining her for some Christmas shopping at the Wonderland Mall in Livonia. The young boy joined his mother on what should have been a quick shopping trip. What no one yet knew, as they allegedly pulled out of their driveway in Detroit, this day of shopping, which should have brought joy to this young family on Christmas morning, would turn into a 26-year mystery that would leave 2 cities in shock and the world asking, where is Dejuan Sims? Everyday Americans turn on their televisions, and many do so specifically to watch the local and national news. These broadcasts are generally filled with crimes from all over the country that leave us feeling sad for the victims and their mourning families. However, there's generally that small comfort that these events are far away and not something likely to happen to one of us or those we love. Like most of the residents of Livonia and its surrounding areas, for the next few months, I would turn on the television with my family and was confronted with newscasts such as the following.
This is TV2 Eyewitness News at noon.
And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sherry Margolis.
I'm Catherine Lahan. Our top story today, the mother of a missing 4-year-old has now been put to the test again. That's our top story. Dwanna Harris was back at the Livonia Police Department for further questioning and underwent another lie detector test. She told police her son, Dejuan Sims, wandered off while they were shopping at Wonderland Mall on Sunday. TV2's John Noel joins us now live from the Livonia Police Department with the very latest. John.
Catherine, Livonia police are not calling Dwanna Harris a suspect in her son's disappearance. However, they do say she probably holds the key that will crack this case. Dwanna Harris, along with her sister and mother, was back at the Livonia Police Department today answering more questions about her son's disappearance. Harris told police she was shopping in Livonia's Wonderland Mall Sunday afternoon when her 4-year-old son, Dejuan Sims, vanished. Police combed the mall but were unable to uncover a trace of the boy. And now there are reports Harris took and failed a lie detector test.
When she took the polygraph test, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, the night that she had lost the baby. She was like distraught, hysterical, and I don't know, I'm not an expert on polygraph. I don't know anything about them, but I think it goes by what your emotions is. It can't tell you if you're lying, but it tells you how your body reacts. I think they took it at a bad time, and that's why we're down here today for her to take another one. And that's all I'm saying. It's just that there is no way my child would hurt her child.
Livonia police would neither confirm nor deny Harris failed the test, but says she is probably the key to this case.
I've been told by the grandmother of the young boy that the mother is here retaking a polygraph test.
I won't comment on anything as to a polygraph test. The mother is here. She is our only witness at this time that was with the boy at the mall and can help us with the actual facts as they relate to his disappearance. So, yes, she's our best witness at this time, and she is back speaking with investigators.
But Harris says police have been treating her more like a suspect than a witness.
I'm not going to stand accused of hurting my own baby. I'm not. I mean, I understand the world is sick, and there's a lot of mothers out there, but this is not the case this time.
Now, Harris was only here for about 45 minutes, so it is unlikely that she did indeed retake that polygraph test. Now, police say they are still treating this as a missing persons case and not a kidnapping. They've also had dozens of tips. However, police say they cannot call any of them promising at this time. Reporting live from Livonia, John Noel, TV2 Eyewitness News.
So, John, they're not considering her a suspect yet. Have they questioned anyone else in the family, other family members?
Yes, they have. As a matter of fact, we've been told that the father of the young boy and Harris's boyfriend both were given polygraph tests, and they tell us, the two gentlemen tell us, that they passed them.
All right, thank you very much, John Noel, reporting live. Have police questioned other family members, as John mentioned. Right now, we'll have more information on that story later.
Tonight, tensions are rising as the search for Dejuan Sims comes up empty. It's been 2 days since the toddler vanished from a mall in Livonia. This morning, after extensive questioning and 2 lie detector tests, the child's mother stormed out of police headquarters. She says she's being treated as a suspect. TV2's Lauren Bishop is live outside Dejuan's grandmother's house. That's where the family is gathered tonight. Lauren?
Well, Rich, all night family and friends have been dropping by, picking up more of these flyers to distribute throughout the city. But they're also defending the missing boy's mother. Dwanna Harris has been inside since she returned from police headquarters this morning, and we're told she's so distraught she's nearly incoherent. She feels police are pointing the finger at her.
She is not the sole focus of the investigation. We're exploring every possibility, treating it as a missing person case. We have not taken our investigation and focused it on one possibility.
Police are not calling 25-year-old Dwanna Harris a suspect in her son's disappearance, and they say they have no evidence of foul play, but they're not ruling anything out. 4-year-old Dejuan Sims disappeared Sunday, his mother says, while the two were shopping at the Wonderland Mall in Livonia. And she's told TV2 point blank she had nothing to do with Dejuan's disappearance.
I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty of harming my own child. I don't know what happened to Dejuan beyond Wonderland Mall.
Police sources say the mother has failed 2 lie detector tests, although officially investigators will not comment on the polygraphs or why Harris left the station distraught and in tears after just 45 minutes Tuesday morning.
I just know that she was really upset, and she was saying that they badgered, I want my baby. How come they can't get my baby back? I just want my baby back. Please let them get my baby back. That's what she was saying the whole time, and that's what she's been saying ever since.
The child's natural father, who passed his own polygraph test, has said Dwanna Harris is a good mother who wouldn't harm her son.
I don't know what to think right now. I just want to find my son. I want to get him home. I want to see him. I love him. I just want to hold him right now.
Now, Livonia police have expanded their search to include the neighborhoods outside the mall. As for reports that police obtained a warrant to search Dwanna Harris's own house, we asked her mother, and she says she's aware of no search of her daughter's house. Reporting live from Detroit's northwest side, Lauren Bishop, TV2 Eyewitness News Primetime.
Lauren, I know you haven't probably been able to confirm that she has flunked 2 lie detector tests, but if indeed that has happened, what is next for prosecutors and police in this matter?
Right now, they say that she is not the sole suspect. In fact, she is not considered a suspect at all. They haven't ruled out anything in this case yet. They're continuing to pursue all leads and trying to find this boy.
All right, Lauren, thank you very much. That, of course, is the bottom line, finding that.
As stated on the local news, Dejuan was allegedly last seen by his mother at the Wonderland Mall. The Wonderland Mall was a fairly large indoor mall with many big box stores and sources of entertainment that people would frequent, including Target, which is the focus of this case, KB Toys, a movie theater, and many other small stores and vendor stands, all of which I would often visit myself with friends and family. It was a place we felt safe going and never imagined anything this terrible could unfold there. Its location, 10 minutes off the I-96 freeway, made it a convenient stop for shoppers living in the areas both east and west of Livonia, including the city of Detroit, which is located about 25 minutes east of the Middle Belt exit leading to the mall. At the time this happened in 1994, Livonia was one of the safest cities in Metro Detroit, having a particularly low crime rate, with more heinous crimes, such as outright violent offenses, or in this case, child abduction, being nearly unheard of. So when the news first broke that a 4-year-old had been taken in the middle of a public mall, full of mothers and their children, and no one had seen it happen, it caused a spark, which ignited a media fire that burned through the whole community, leaving a pit in the stomach of everyone whose false sense of security had been shattered in a single day, fearing there was someone abducting children and facing the possibility they could take your child too, even if you were 20 feet away and in a busy public shopping center. The following is a breakdown of the events that occurred that day, as detailed by the security guards, the Livonia police, and Dwanna Jackson herself. Dwanna told police she departed her home with Dejuan around 1:10 p.m., heading towards the Wonderland Mall. She arrived at the mall between 1:40 p.m. and 2 p.m., immediately entering the Target attached to the mall. She looked around the store for a bit with her son, who wanted to purchase a videotape. She explained to police that the lines were too long in the store to purchase the tape, so she instructed her son to put it back. She then walked with him outside the store and down the hall towards the center of the mall, where she last noticed her son walking a few feet behind her. Once arriving at KB Toys, she noticed her son was no longer with her, and she immediately began a search for him in the toy store. She then proceeded to double back and check the route she took all the way to the Target exit. After 30 minutes of searching, she found a mall employee cleaning, explained her son was missing, and she needed help. The staff member contacted mall security, which began a sweep of the mall for roughly an hour before contacting the Livonia Police Department. Once the police arrived, they started their own sweep of the mall, taking Dwanna into the security office at Target to go over the security tapes, and that's when things got weird. It's important to remember that this occurred in 1994, and the clarity of security cameras was not nearly as good as we are used to today. In fact, the images were incredibly grainy, making it difficult to confirm the identities of individuals as they walked out of the store. It's also important to note that the Target was the only area in the mall where one could enter or exit that had security cameras. While reviewing the tapes, the Livonia police asked Dwanna to point out to them when she saw herself walking out of the Target and into the mall itself. After watching the tapes for a while, she pointed to a mother walking with her child into the mall and said that was the two of them. As they watched the recordings, the woman in the video stopped just outside the exit of Target and began speaking to her child, which Dwanna then stated she remembered that moment, and she was explaining to Dejuan that he could not get the videotape he wanted because the line was too long. However, as the police examined the video further, it was clear the woman on the recording was wearing different colored clothes and was wearing a hat. As they further examined the footage, Dwanna would continually point at people exiting the Target, and police would point out the inconsistency of the clothing and how those individuals could not possibly be her and Dejuan. As this went on, Dwanna became increasingly combative and upset before finally conceding none of the women leaving the Target were her, after going so far as claiming one of the women leaving she believed to be her and Dejuan was in fact another woman leaving the store with her daughter. One other thing to mention. During this interview, she pointed out for the first time that her mother, also Dejuan's grandmother, was working in the mall that day at the Lady Foot Locker, to which the police quickly found her and conducted an interview, where the grandmother stated she had not seen Dejuan in the mall at any point on the 11th of December. The search by the police was exhaustive. They scoured every inch of the mall multiple times. They searched Dwanna's house and the surrounding areas, determined to find Dejuan. This case was the largest case the Livonia Police Department had in many years, and the public pressure to solve it was immense. There was a 24-hour hotline established and manned by the police, which took over 700 tips, all of which were thoroughly investigated, with no luck. The investigation lasted on the ground for weeks, with the police working over $43,000 worth of overtime, searching, chasing down leads, and working with Dwanna on what happened, including step-by-step walkthroughs of the mall and Target, re-examining what had happened that day, many of the police barely seeing their families for Christmas as they relentlessly pounded the pavement, searching for the missing Dejuan. With all this having happened, and with no other evidence or leads outside of Dwanna herself, the investigation began to focus on her directly. The police quickly brought her in for an interview and lie detector test. According to the Livonia police, this took over 18 hours due to her being uncooperative, followed by the lie detector test she subsequently failed. When given a chance to take a second test, it ended 45 minutes later when she suddenly lashed out at the machine itself, pulling the paper out, tearing it in half, and refusing to proceed further, claiming the police were trying to pin the disappearance on her. The father and grandmother of Dejuan also sat down for multiple interviews and a lie detector test, and both were always cooperative and passed. After her outburst at the Livonia police station, Dwanna lawyered up, and the case went cold after that, with Dwanna shortly thereafter moving to another state with her boyfriend. This would not be the end of the case, however, as on February 26, 1999, a skeleton of a boy was found in Georgia, which would end up being the body of a different missing boy. Dwanna went on to remarry, and at one point was arrested for assault when her new husband left the house to take his child from another marriage out and around. Once returning, Dwanna grabbed 2 knives and attacked him in a rage for leaving her alone with their baby, upset he had chosen his child from another marriage over her and their child. Last and most recent, in December of 2019, a man named Mike Cash came forward, claiming to be the missing Dejuan. He stated he discovered the man he thought was his dad was in fact not his father, and given his age and looks, he thought it was likely the missing Dejuan Sims. Mike got in touch with Dwanna, and when asked the date of his birthday and the placement of some birthmarks, he was unable to answer. He offered to meet at a police station, which she declined. He submitted his DNA test to be matched with the father's, which confirmed he was not a match. So with all that said, where is Dejuan? This case has haunted me for many years, along with the police and the city of Livonia in general. Every time I would enter the Wonderland Mall, I would be reminded of what happened and couldn't help but think about the case and his whereabouts. Reviewing the facts, the first thing we need to decide is if Dejuan even made it into Target on that afternoon in December. If you were to ask me, I would say no. Figuring in the multiple misidentifications and her explicitly stating she had a conversation with her son as they exited the store, this would lead me to believe she was coming up with stories on the fly. She would also have to be the most unlucky woman on the face of this earth to walk into a Target with working security cameras and somehow not appear walking into the store or out of the store. Furthermore, 2 witnesses came forward to say they saw her walking into the mall but was walking alone. So if Dejuan never made it to Target, what happened to him? It's fair to say that if in fact he never made it there, and given the information Dwanna gave to the police, she would have to be responsible for his disappearance, or, at the very least, know what happened to him. Given the information we have on Dwanna's temper and inability to control her rage, I would theorize she could have momentarily lost her temper over something he did, snapped, and attacked him. Being that he was 4, it's unlikely he would have survived such an outburst of rage. If this was the case, where would his final resting place be? After all, the police did a thorough search of the house and the surrounding houses, with a door-to-door search that lasted weeks. Well, what is not well known is that Detroit had been going through a long period of decline. The result of this left thousands of homes all over the city completely abandoned, with some neighborhoods consisting of only a few occupied homes. This has caused a crisis in the city, resulting in countless drug dens and hidden dumping grounds for things such as a body. These homes are currently being demolished by the city, but the problem is far from solved, even 26 years later. It would have been simple to hide a body on one of these properties, making it likely it would never be found. Additionally, failing a lie detector, attacking the machine, lawyering up, moving away, and refusing to meet someone at a police station claiming to be your missing son, I find highly irregular. However, there is always the possibility that both myself and the police are wrong, that this mother has been doubly wronged, with the loss of her child and subsequently being accused of committing the act. I don't believe that is the case, and neither do the police that investigated this case. With Sergeant Haley Holloway stating frankly, we're pretty confident Dejuan never made it to the Wonderland Mall. But it is possible, nonetheless, even if I fully don't understand how it could be. There are over 800,000 children reported missing in the United States every year. In the vast majority of these cases, the children are found unharmed and returned to their families. However, in many, they are not. Our prayers go out to the families of those missing a loved one. May God bless you, and Godspeed. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Dejuan Sims, please contact the Livonia Police Department or the Center for Missing and Exploited Children at the numbers listed on your screen. This has been Project Mysterium. Please hug your children tonight and have a great week.